uh, 9 or 10, and you were in India, and an elephant came to visit you. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I was probably 9 years old, and I was working with my mother, who was seeing patients uh, at the medical tent that was out there in near the village that we had our camp near. But my dad and my brothers, my older brothers, had gone on a hunt because a village farther down the road had been attacked by a leopard, and they were being people were being hurt. So they had asked my dad, to come and help them. So they were on a hunt to take care of the people from that village. So Mom and I were there at the medicine tent. My other my other sister and brother were doing their thing around the tent, and all of a sudden, elephant is brought into the camp by his mahout, the medicine man, I mean the elephant man, who was leading him into the camp. And he said to my mother, they walked right up to my mother, and he said to my mother, uh, this is the Maharaja's favorite elephant. And it was on a hunt with the Maharaja a week ago, and it stepped on a bamboo stump, and it must have gotten a part of that bamboo stump into its foot, because it can't walk properly now, and it's having trouble. And the Maharaja wants you to take care of that. My mother looks at him and she says, I don't treat elephants. He says to her, you're a doctor. And she says, oh, yes. Okay, I treat elephants. And so she walked up to the elephant and patted him on his leg, the injured one, which was the front left leg. And she patted him on that and started talking to him. And as she talked to him, she felt around and then felt around the bottom of his foot and felt where the problem was. And she asked me to go get a syringe and potassium permanganate and a probe and forceps. Well, I knew what she was talking about, so I did. And I got her the things that she needed, and she began probing around the bottom of the elephant's foot. Now, the elephant hadn't batted an eye. It was standing there perfectly still. My mother is patting him on his leg and talking to him and telling him what she's doing. And as she was working around, she found about a 6-inch piece of bamboo splinter in the pad of his foot, and she was able to work with it with the forceps and get it out. And then she syringed it with the potassium permanganate and told the mahout what to do with it, and said, but bring him back, let me see him. And so a couple days later, the elephant comes back into camp, and the mahout, they just get into the area where the camp is, and the elephant walks straight past everybody else, right into the medical tent, and sees my mother there, puts his trunk around my mother, and picks her up and starts swinging her around. And she's laughing, and we're laughing as the elephant's having a great time with this back and forth and back and forth. And finally, my mother pats him on the snout and says, "Now come on, be a good boy and put me down." And so he did. But it was so wonderful because the elephant was really letting her know how much he appreciated what she had done to help him with his foot.
And later the elephant took you to the
Yes.
river and let you
Later-
play
later-
in the river with him. That's
Right.
exciting. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much for that story.